Tonight on Alaska's news source, an update after an oil drilling rig fell over on the North Slope last night, including how many people were treated at local clinics. Plus, people in Minneapolis are protesting after a man was shot and killed by a federal agent. Details ahead.
Sunny skies remain in the weekend forecast across the state, but there's a snowy change on the way for Monday.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
8 people have been treated and released from North Slope clinics one day after Doyon 26, a massive oil drilling rig, tipped over on the tundra. That's according to ConocoPhillips Alaska. It operated the rig, which it says fell over around 4:45 p.m. Friday while it was traveling on an ice road. The company says those who were treated at clinics were 2 people who were on the rig when it fell over, as well as 6 other initial responders. In a 2022 press release, ConocoPhillips described the rig as the largest mobile land drilling rig in North America. We have more details on our website. And a person is dead after a shooting involving federal immigration agents in Minneapolis earlier today. It comes about 2 weeks after Renee Good was killed on January 7th. Today, the 37-year-old man was surrounded by federal agents when they shot him. The Department of Homeland Security says the man killed had a semi-automatic handgun. It is unclear whether he was holding the gun when he was shot.
The agents attempted to disarm the individual, but he violently resisted. Fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, a Border Patrol agent fired defensive shots.
Minneapolis's mayor condemned the incident and is calling on the Trump administration to end the ICE operation in the city. Camilla Bernal was in Minneapolis today, where she explains what she's seeing in the city and what she's hearing from protesters. But we do want to warn you, this story contains video that may be difficult for some to watch.
A very somber scene here in Minneapolis. This is the area where that 37-year-old was killed, and you have people coming to essentially kneel down. Some people have been crying and essentially paying their respects to that man. But there's also a lot of anger here in Minneapolis. You're going to see a lot of protesters who, despite the freezing temperatures, have been out here to say that they want ICE out of their city. Of course, this is after that shooting that was recorded on video, and many have already watched as this man was held down on the ground by federal agents, surrounded, and then shot. You can hear multiple shots in that video. The Department of Homeland Security saying that that man had a handgun and that they were not able to disarm him. One of the agents feared for his life, and that is why they shot. Yet a lot of these protesters say they do not feel safe and they don't want ICE or federal agents in their cities. So despite the freezing temperatures, they're out here trying to get that message across. Back to you.
Minnesota's governor is calling for state law enforcement to lead the investigation into the shooting. And mostly sunny days have been in the forecast for about a week, but a change is on the way. Meteorologist Bailey Braun joins us to tell us what to expect.
Thank you, Michaela. Yeah, aside from these sunny skies that we've seen for the last week or so, we have had some freezing fog, not only here, but also in the interior and parts of southeast. Now, that's what this freezing fog looked like this morning. Now, I want to remind you that freezing fog is essentially just suspended ice crystals in the air, and they freeze on contact to whatever they touch. But it's nice to have the sunset back into our time lapse now that we're getting some more daylight back. And across the state right now, we're seeing relatively dry conditions. Over in Juneau, mostly sunny skies. In the interior, they're seeing just a little bit more cloud cover, but these temperatures are in the teens and even into single digits for Fairbanks. But these temperatures are on the decline as we approach next week. So temperatures for tonight dropping to -2 in Fairbanks and only about 23 degrees for Anchorage for tomorrow. But then over in southeast, we're going to face some rainy weather. Now, that's mostly going to be in the afternoon hours into the overnight hours. But Monday's the day that we will see some of that wet change moving into south central as well. So I wanted to show you a beautiful photo from Tracy Try. This is the aurora from the other night. And we've seen it pretty active the last couple of days. And since these skies are going to be mostly clear across most of the state for tonight, I want to give you a chance to see if you'll be able to check it out for tonight. But for tonight, from about 6 to 9 p.m. The KP activity will be about a 3, which is moderate activity, but it's on the low side. So if skies are clear for you in the interior, all the way out to the Seward Peninsula and even parts of the slope, you should try to get outside and see if you can see it. But of course, I want to give you a look at our sunrise and sunset times. We do have more sunlight in our sunlight forecast, which is super nice to see. So in the North Slope, we're finally back to seeing that sunrise, about 2 hours and 16 minutes of sunlight, and we're only on the upswing. Michaela?
Down at Kincaid Park, the weather is perfect for skiing. Great news for Lynx Lop at Meet, bringing teams in from all over the state. Charlie Fellows headed over to see how the trails are looking when they weren't so great last year.
It's ski day here in Anchorage, with the slopes here at Kincaid Park filled with high schoolers competing at this year's Lynx Lopette Meet. And that's something that hasn't been said since 2024. Last year's edition of this race canceled due to poor ski conditions and low amounts of snow here at Kincaid Park. This year, though, it's a different story.
It's night and day. We have so much more snow. We have better temperatures. It's very great skiing temperatures.
It's a stark contrast from last year around this time, when the snow layer was much thinner and ice covered large portions of the starting area during last year's U.S. cross-country championships. 1 year since last year's canceled Lopette, things are very different.
We're about 30 degrees cooler this time around, and we've got a way better snow base.
Good news for the NSAA operations team, given enough powder to do what they do best.
We've got a fantastic ops crew that runs out here in the evenings all through the night. They groom all of the race courses with our piston bullies and snow machines and just get everything ready to go.
All the more important to accommodate teams and racers descending upon the park from every corner of Alaska.
They were really good. The trails were super well groomed, and it was a really nice course.
West Valley is coming in.
The return to normal winter weather here in Anchorage, giving a chance for teams from all over the great 49th state to come together and ski. Charlie Fellows, Alaska's news source.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.